In this video, we're going to walk through step by step how to install the ALPS library from sources. The ALPS library provides robust components for numerical simulations in condensed matter physics, including many-body physics, Monte Carlo methods, and more. So once you're on the ALPS website, we're going to navigate to the installation tab up here on the top, and then we're going to select the installation from sources button. So this page, or documentation guide, already provides pretty much everything you need to know on how you can install ALPS yourself from sources. But the sources method is quite challenging compared to the installation from binaries method, which is why I'm making this video, to make sure the installation process is crystal clear and clears up any confusion that might arise during the process, as it can be fairly confusing. So if you're looking for kind of a basic and simple installation of the ALPS library, we highly recommend installing from binaries. But if you're someone who wants to have a lot of customization on the library, for example, if you want to optimize it for your specific hardware and computer needs, or you want to customize different options for different simulations, the sources might be the better option for you. So we'll take up a little more disk space, and it can be a little more complicated, but it is able to be done, as we will see. So start by opening a terminal. I recommend opening one up kind of side by side like I'm doing here, and then you can have either the documentation page or this video up open on the side, whatever works best for you. One thing to note is I'll be demonstrating these steps and commands on a Linux machine, but if you're using WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux, on a Windows or Mac machine, the steps are nearly identical. And then if you're using Homebrew on Mac, the page also lists the steps for using Homebrew to install the different dependencies as well. So really, no matter what OS you're on, ALPS can be installed from the sources method. So the first thing we're going to want to do, as you can see in step 1, is we want to install all of the required dependencies that ALPS depends on. As you can see, there's different libraries here like CMake, Boost, MPI, and like the C++ compiler. These provide different methods for kind of data storage, parallel computing, and kind of linear algebra calculations that is just needed throughout the library. So we're going to scroll down and select the option for us. So for me, I'm on a Debian-based operating system, so I'm going to select that option. So this is really anything Linux-based, or if you're using WSL. So we're going to install these libraries here. I'm just going to copy it, paste it into my terminal. And as you can see, I already have all of them installed, but that should work normally for you. It should ask you to just confirm the installation, so you'll just say with a capital Y for yes, and it might take a few seconds, but they all should install, and those all should be the right versions. And then we're going to want to install Boost. Make sure not to skip this step here. We want to install Boost 1.81, and the exact link is right there, so you're just going to want to copy that. Alright, and then we're just downloading the tar file there, and then once it's downloaded, we'll kind of extract it to install it on our system so that ALPS can use Boost. Okay, so now it's downloaded. We're just going to copy this next command here, put that in. And this should take a couple seconds. And with some of these commands, don't be confused if it takes a little bit. Some of them can take quite a while. The reason I have a lot of these installed already is just to make this video as short as possible, and not add any extra burden or time to your installation process. But yeah, don't be confused if a lot of them take a while, or a lot longer than this video shows. It did take quite a while for me to install it, hence the reason they're already installed through this video. So then we want to install the Python libraries. Depending on how your Python is installed, either of these two commands should work for you. I'm going to be using the second one to install NumPy and SciPy, which are just different Python calculation libraries that are used throughout ALPS. And as you can see, the requirements are already satisfying. I mean, I already have these libraries installed, but yeah, with those might take a little bit, so just give it some time. And so once you've completed this whole first step, you've done all these correctly, we want to verify the dependencies just to make sure everything's working okay before we get into the ALPS code base. So the first thing we're going to do is do gcc -v. So we're just checking the C++ compiler version. And as you can see, our GCC version right here is 14.2.0. And if we look at the ALPS website, it says the version must be greater than or equal to 10.5.0. So we're in the green there. So we're good with this first dependency. Our C++ compiler is good. Next, we want to check our CMake version. So we're going to write CMake -- version. And it says our CMake version is 3.31.6. And as you can see, that's greater than the requirement of 3.18. So we're good. And then we're going to check our MPI version just by doing MPI run -- version. And we are at 5.0.7. And we're good. That's higher than 4. So our dependencies are verified, and we're good to move on to installing the ALPS codebase and the ALPS library. So the first step is you're going to want to clone the most recent version of the repository by running this command. Yep, so you're going to want to clone that repository by typing that command in. Sorry, I had to delete the repository as I already had it in, but if you just copy that command in the terminal, it'll clone. As you can see it's doing now, it's copying all of the files onto my local machine. Great, so now that's cloned, and the ALPS source folder should be in my current working directory. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to use CMake on the ALPS source folder. So that's going to be kind of building the ALPS library. One very important thing to notice is you can't just copy this block of code into the terminal. There are a couple of things you need to replace. The first one is the path to install directory. So that's where on your machine you want ALPS installed. For most of us, that's just going to be like our current directory, since as you can see, my current directory is already named ALPS. So I would just kind of delete this, as I'll show you in a second, and just leave it I'll just leave it empty to install it in my current directory. And then the boost source directory is the path to where we install the boost. And since we installed boost all in the same folder as we were going through these steps, that would also just be blank. So I copied this to a text editor. And so like I said, I want to install ALPS in my current directory. It might be different from you, so for you, if you want to install it in a different folder, you would just give the path to that. But for me, I just want to install it right there. So I'll just leave it like that with 1/. And then since my boost is already installed in the same folder, I would just leave it like that. Right? So it's just the path to boost because it's already in the folder. And so this command is going to take quite a lot of time. So I'm not going to actually paste it in because it took about 5 to 10 minutes for me, and it'll probably take the same amount of time for you. So just make sure you put in the right directories for those two things, and it should work great. And so then once you paste that in, you simply want to build the ALPS library by doing the CMake command, the second CMake command after that big one. All right, and then when that command finishes, this second to last CMake command finishes. This one will take quite a bit, so I did have to pause the video for it to finish, but once that finishes, you can run this last one to check if ALPS is installed correctly. Run a series of tests throughout the entire library, see if everything passes. And as you can see, most of them are passing so far, but we'll just let it run. So there's 152 tests. I know it did install correctly. Um, and with that, ALPS is successfully installed. I really hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always willing to help with anything. I know installing from sources can be really challenging. And with that, have a great day and have fun with ALPS.